Hi, everyone. Welcome to our twin flame reading for September. It's not really just for September. This is just current energy for the twin flame journey. I think we're going to try something new today, and I don't know, it just came to me, so I'm going to go ahead and just go with it. And you guys can ultimately let me know if you like it or not. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. And I think what I'm going to do is pull a card. I think we'll do two, like pull two cards for the Divine Masculine and then two cards for the Divine Feminine. And it may be a conversation back and forth, which is what I hope, and which is what I usually get a lot when I do them together. It's like almost like a conversation, an energy conversation. Um, and remember, if you're on this twin flame journey, number one, if it is too much, then break it off. You know what I mean? Like don't continue for years and years to accept lower energy, because your job is not to lower your energy to meet someone else's. It is when both rise to the occasion. So sometimes you have to call it off because there's still more growing to do on one side, or both sides. You may have different lessons that haven't been completed, and the coming together too soon just feels like resistance. So remember, it is not supposed to be hell. And if it is hell, then maybe I'm trying um, to force something that it's just not its time yet. Doesn't mean it can't, our free will can, we can make that decision to make it time. But then we get that resistant energy. And maybe you can work through it. I did work through it. And if you get on the same page, you guys can figure it out and grow together. That is not always the case. So I just want to say, don't, you have your life, and your life is important, and your life has its purpose and its destiny. Even if you're on a twin flame journey, I'm a true believer that if number one, I feel like if you're truly with your twin, then you will come together. Um, it just it's written in the stars, so to speak. So you will come together. But sometimes, the human condition, we want something now. I want it now. Anyway, I just am saying that because I hear a lot of comments, and I've done a lot of readings where each twin comes here with their own individual path. And I feel like it's important through all my readings, many, many, many years of twin flame readings, and listening to my guides and my intuition. I'm almost sure that we're meant to come down and have individual paths, learn individual lessons. So ultimately, I think when we come together, we bring all that wisdom to the table, because we are really master teachers, and we can only learn through experience. So, their experiences are important to their growth, as are your experiences. So I think that's what I'm saying. Don't hold back your own experiences because someone else isn't, on the same page. Almost like just let go of control, so to speak. Okay, anyway, and it's a personal choice. I don't think it is, you have free will to decide at any time what you want to do. If you feel loved, then you are loved. Even, it's funny, I'm just getting this energy of like, if you feel loved, then you are loved, even if it's from afar. So I think that means energetically, that love between the twins remains, whether we're together or we're not, because really, we really are always one, right? Um, Anyway, all right, guys. What we're going to do is I'm going to pull a card for each one um, from this deck, which is just major arcanas. It's only major arcanas. Unfortunately, I do not remember the name of them. You know, I've been like a gypsy. I've been moving. I move here, I move there, I move, you know. So I got rid of the boxes, which probably was not a good idea. Okay. Well, look at that. We open up with the Emperor. Um, I am calling this the Divine Masculine side, the DM. Okay, if you hear someone saying the DM, that's what it is, the Divine Masculine. And we're opening with, really, the Divine Masculine. We have Temperance. First of all, we have the energy of Aries and Sagittarius. Of course, it doesn't have to be, but it is fire. So, passion. Temperance. What's temperance? You know, it's a perfect energy. It's about divine timing. And we were just talking about the timing of something, and this is divine timing. And when it's divine timing, what that really means is, you know, divine has control of this. You can kind of let go, or even if, again, it's difficult, you know, I'm looking at the Emperor's back to the Temperance, so, you know, maybe someone not quite there. But nonetheless, you know, the energy is going to feed to this person. Divine masculine, you know, it does not. You do not have to be a male. You can be a female and definitely carry divine masculine energy. I know I do a lot. Um, and you can go back and forth too. So that's why it can get a little tricky. Okay, I'm going to just give these a couple shuffles. It's funny. I know I'm not going to take those. I just want to shuffle them online just so you can see. But look what wanted to pop out, which again, two major arcanas. We have the Star, card of Aquarius, and we have the Devil, card of Capricorn. You know, it's just interesting. I see the female here looking over at the male, and the male kind of, again, you know, the male energy seems to, in both places, be looking somewhere else. Or certainly just, you know, look at the energy. So maybe trying to figure out, kind of like, I want to say, figuring out their own shit, trying to figure out their own shit. You know, but I see the energy of what I think about, what I dream about, and definitely feeling the energy of, you know, perhaps two people feeling tied together. It's funny because I feel like, for some of you, I feel like you know, you were with your twin before, or at least, well, I feel like you could physically touch them, um, and I feel like, you know, that bond, so to speak, was created, or that spark was created of the tie that keeps the two of you together. It's like that silver string. Um, you know, whether I can see it or not, it's there. And, you know, I feel the energy. It's funny because I feel like this person, all of a sudden, I'm feeling like, is feeling some kind of shame. Like one of the twins is feeling, you know, some kind of shame. And why are they feeling that? Because they must have gone through a period of reflection, right? Because they're looking at themselves here, and they're feeling shameful. But nonetheless, I feel like, I'm not sure which one you are in this, but I feel like the other is looking on, still with the hope that this can come together, you know, it can come together. And remember, temperance is over here. The emperor all of a sudden feels like, I'm someone who likes to have control in my life. And maybe, this twin flame thing kind of throws me out of control. I don't feel like I'm in control. And it just feels like someone who's used to being in control. All right, let's give the good tarot a couple shuffles and let's continue the conversation. I feel like someone is like actively trying to manifest this person, bring them into their life. Um, and, with temperance here, that possibility is pretty good, but in the right time. It kind of reminds me of the energy of like your guide saying to you, don't worry, we'll make sure you're at the right place at the right time. Like we'll nudge you to the right place at the right time. That type of energy, and that's what you can count on. Look at this. We have the Ten of Cups attached to Temperance, which is, which is really loving, happy type of energy. So, these two cups, like you can see just in the picture, the mixing of the cups. And it's funny because I think it is fire and water. And here is fire and water. We have Judgment, another major arcana. So Judgment is about a rebirth, right? It's a call to attention, almost like Temperance is saying, I'll grab your attention when it is time. I'm noticing that too, partnership, coming from the energy of Temperance. Look at this, we have the Hermit. We have 4 cards. Card of Virgo. And we have the Moon. Wow. A lot of major, well, all these are major arcanas except for the 10 of Cups, but that's the highest cup card. Let me put it here so you can see it. I feel like this is talking about over here, like what's the feminine energy doing versus the masculine. Masculine still, they both have reflection. But I feel like over here, the reflection, what I'm reflecting upon, because we have the 9, the Hermit, right? I'm seeking answers. I'm seeking to expand my spirituality. I want to grow. And ultimately, the Hermit becomes the master teacher, right? Is the one who's shining the beacon for others now through the wisdom you gain through the Hermit. So, that's an important component and it feels like it's the road to the Ten of Cups. It's a really important component where I feel like this moon is saying this is the time when you gotta, like where things will be illuminated to you. You learn about yourself, but I mean, major things, like abilities, what you can do, what you can create, right? Um, because I feel like the moon was like the darkness that's now being lifted with judgment, right? The rebirth. And clearly, at the Hermit here, you're seeking clarity, and I feel like you receive it. I definitely feel like you receive it. So I get why over here, this part of a lot of your journeys so important because of the growth. And what does that do? It allows you to be happy in the Ten of Cups, right? You're not coming to the Ten of Cups with a lot of baggage. This is really just really harmonious type energy. And I don't know, I just feel like almost like a blind was pulled down and now it's being lifted. And that it feels like that must be what temperance is controlling, right? Because temperance has control of this situation. Okay, let's go back over here. If any of you, I feel like if you've been wondering about this time that you've been alone, has it been a waste of time, something like that? It's like, no. It feels like it was such an important component because ultimately it's going to allow you to just really enjoy life, enjoy love. We have the Two of Wands, which is good. We have the Queen of Swords, potentially Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that's attached to Capricorn for some. We got a lot of different signs up here. And, your sign doesn't have to be here. This is about the story. And then to me, like the signs are just, little tidbits for some. Anyway, I feel like the Queen of Swords is showing up as a form of communication because I feel like this is someone who potentially is going to go forward with some type of communication. It's almost like some it may be like a letter, and it may be and it could be you too, though. But anyway, it's like pouring out, almost like pouring out my heart, but for some of you about a particular, something that they are not proud of themselves. Let's put it that way. They're not proud of themselves. When they truly look at it again, if you're experiencing this clearing, then, I feel like then they will be too. Just different things. So, let's take two more. And then I think what I'm going to do is we're bringing the Cosmic Tarot to go a little bit deeper. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords. So, this is the energy of unnecessary worry. But it's there. It's just, the card or the tarot card says you don't need all this worry. But that doesn't, but nonetheless, it's still there. And again, I feel like this is more on the masculine side. And this may be what part of the energy where I feel they some feel shameful. I feel like this is what is in them. Um, I feel directly, the Nine of Swords directly attached to that. Look at that. Okay, so both have the Ten of Cups. But look at this, the masculine side has the Nine of Swords going into the Ten of Cups. So there's fear around that. It means what it's showing me is both want the same thing, right? But there may be coming from different energies. Like I'm at the 9, and you're over here at the energy of a rebirth of you know something now. So we're off, but we're both headed in the same direction. You both have the 9, and you both have the 10 of Cups, and you both have a lot of major arcanas. So it tells me change on both ends, right? Some of you, I feel like you're emerging from the hermit energy, and you're feeling powerful. You're learning to feel much more power within yourself. Um, but I feel like the Ten of Cups is here. Like you'll have this Ten of Cups. It's about when. And maybe that's why I kind of gave that speech in the beginning. If you're putting your own life on hold, I feel like your guides are saying, just let it go and let it be. Don't forget about your own experiences, right? That's how you gain wisdom. So, anyway, all right. Let's bring out the Cosmic Tarot. Let's make some room. I kind of like this reading. I kind of like the way the cards are coming out. With the Magician on the bottom of the deck. That's manifesting. And I feel like a lot of times it's manifesting through my mind, my thought process, how I look at things, my perspective. Am I looking at something in a excited state, or am I looking at it in a depressed state? Um, and I feel like, when the Magician comes up, it's like whatever energy I'm in is the energy I'm manifesting from. It can be a great thing, but it can also be, I can be creating some hardship for my future self. Because that, it's almost like I'm laying down a track, like an audio track, except it's a track of your life of positive or negative energy. Okay, I hope that made sense. All right, well, hello. I'm going to look at the star. Justice, card of Libra, and the High Priestess. Look at this, major arcanas. Justice, I feel like it's a balancing of one's life. It just feels like a balancing of one's life. Someone could be waiting for a divorce, asking for a divorce, that type of thing. I don't feel like against you, it'd be with someone else. That could be going on, but what I'm really feeling is, it's like Temperance is saying the energy will change. Um, kind of like hang on for the ride because the energy will change. And I feel like that's what this energy over here is doing. I almost hate to put a label on it. It has to be a male, it has to be a female. But nonetheless, I feel like, they're kind of clinging on to the fact that they know things can change, or that's a lesson they're learning, because they do have the Nine of Swords energy. So, They have, I hate to call it lower energy. I'm sure there's a better name for it, but it's what it feels like to me. Like if I was going to measure this energy, I'm on the low scale. And therefore, I don't know, could be manifesting from that point. Almost the energy of like, seems like nothing works out in my favor. Well, it can be because of my track that I'm laying down. Again, we have the Queen of Swords again. We have the Wheel. And we have the Nine of Swords again. So this person fears. This person fears a change. Now that doesn't mean they fear like, I don't know. Let me just go with what I was going with. I feel like they fear this change, a change. So I feel like for some, almost like I want to come forward, right? I want to go forward with the Two of Wands. I feel like this is part of a destined path, but the fear, the thoughts, like I overthink. Um, and again, here it is, right next to the Ten of Cups, right next to the Ten of Cups. So this is for real, that this person has a fear over the Ten of Cups. And I feel like the fear is not you or another, it is them. It is them. And maybe it's, they wonder if they can bring that type of energy to the table. They just may not be there yet. But I do feel like, again, they're going through some type of a deep process that, it's going to definitely bring them some truths of their own. It's like you both kind of went through the same thing, but over here it feels much more difficult. And I feel the difference is over here, I was more open to it, right? I was open to this energy. I knew that there was some things that I needed to look at, and I was willing to look at it, and I was willing to grow, and I wanted to grow. I was seeking that. Therefore, it feels like, I don't want to say it was easy, because it is a 9, right? I got to work up to that 9. But nonetheless, how you come out of it just feels, I don't know, smooth. Over here, it's almost like a kicking and a screaming, but it's because someone's overthinking, and I feel like they're overthinking if they can be what they need to be. Though with the Two of Wands and the Star, it tells me, and the High Priestess over the Star energy, it tells me like intuitively, they may be receiving signs, epiphanies, like all of a sudden start thinking about you, that type of energy, and it may come on. It's funny, I feel like that's what's happening to some, like memories of you, and I do feel like they try to stop it, but almost like they can't. So I feel like intuitively they feel that pull, but mentally they're not there. Okay. I feel like I totally get their energy. Look at that. Look at the Four of Wands, which, that's the commitment card. That is, I want to make a commitment, and it's coming to with the Two of Wands. It's coming over the Two of Wands. So, um, I feel like over here their hurdle is they have to get over this Nine of Swords. They have to figure that out. Like they got to figure out their shit. Um, and only they can, right? Because 9 is self-reflection. It's self-reflection. Hmm. Okay. Anyway, there's that commitment card. So the good news is I feel like this is someone, who ultimately wants that. I'm just going to kind of go straight across over these cards. I feel like, well, there's the Empress. So we have the Emperor and we have the Empress right next to the Four of Wands. So, what does this tell me? This tells me ultimately someone will figure this out. Like this energy over here will eventually figure out that, you are the Empress to their Emperor. Um, it just is. It just is. And I feel like they have to look at it from another perspective, be able to see it from another perspective, and maybe that just means what we can create together. I mean, this is the ultimate couple, and it's connected to the Four of Wands. So ultimately, I feel like we could have that commitment, right? And someone's being nudged there, I feel like. But one of the things they're realizing is you are their Empress to their Emperor. We have the Five of Wands, which is like-minded energy. It's a push and pull, but it's almost like two people who are exactly the same. Um, I don't know. Let's just keep going. Go down with the Ace of Pentacles coming over the Ten of Cups. So what that tells me is this is energy that's coming into your physical world. To me, the Ace of Pentacles is something I can touch. It's tangible. I can touch it. I can smell it, comes into my physical world. Three of Wands. Well, that is energy where I'm excited about the future. Like I'm here looking at the future and I see all the possibilities. This isn't energy where I see the problems. No, I see all the possibilities. Not all the possibilities. The possibilities are endless. But ultimately, what's feeding the energy is the Four of Wands. So that is, they call it marriage card. But what it is, two people who once, once together. First of all, four is balanced. So the energy has to be balanced, and justice is right above that. And that's what justice is, the scales, right? But justice ultimately is about making you whole again. And I feel like that statement is really for the twins here. Um, because, from justice comes that Four of Wands, Six of Pentacles. And it's funny, we're talking about balance. There it is. 3 and 6 into the 9. 3, 6, 9. So the Six of Pentacles is very give and take energy. It is not only giving through the compassion of my heart, but it's also receiving. Like I'm open to receiving. A lot of us, we think our problem is the other people, but we are closed off to like truly receiving. And I feel like that is what the Ten of Cups is talking about for you, getting you to that point so you can truly like receive love in your heart, um, truly, with no barriers and walls, right? That's what this time was all about. Seeing all that can be and being directed by temperance. I don't feel like temperance is just here for the divine feminine. I feel like temperance is the director of energy, of time, so to speak. So, anyways, the Six of Pentacles, I'm very empathetic in that energy, and maybe I need to be in that type of energy to perhaps even help this person overcome something that they feel. They feel there's something within them, maybe something they did. I just feel that they feel shameful about it. And I kind of feel them stuck in that energy, though they have the opportunity of coming out of it. But will they? They got the Nine of Swords all around them. Finally, I mean, you know, they will, but when? All right, we have the Prince of Wands. And we have Judgment. So we have Judgment on both sides. You know, here it is, call to attention, right? It's almost showing you what this person has to go through to get to a certain point, realizing that someone is their emperor or empress to, you know, the ability to make the commitment within the Four of Wands. Not just I want to make the commitment, but the ability to truly make it, right? Because this is the power couple. So both come to the table like, I don't know, I just feel strong. So it's funny, the Prince of Wands, which is the energy of, you know, taking chances. This is someone who is willing to take chances. It's driven by their passion, right? The prince doesn't quite have the walls up that we do as we grow, right? Have experience. So this is someone who's willing to take that chance. And it feels like, you know, he's looking right at Judgment, the rebirth, the call to attention, which is connecting the Empress to the Emperor. And I feel like this is the time. This is when. Judgment also touching the Nine of Swords here. So, you know, this person does need the reflection over what this Nine of Swords is to them and, you know, what's holding them down. They have to come to that realization. But it's showing us that they do. All right, let's go a little bit further. We have the Seven of Swords. You know, the seven is about spiritual completeness. When it's coming next to Judgment like that, I feel like that's what it is. Now, I don't mean that's it, I'm done learning. No, this is when I start to allow my spirituality to be important within my life. Just like my earthly things, my spirituality is also important. Hmm. You know, I don't know if this person over here would say out loud that, you know, he feels someone is his or her twin. Um, I don't think they would use that terminology. And I guess that's not for everyone, but for some, I feel like it's important I say that. Like, I don't think they would say a twin, but what they are realizing, you know, it's just like they're not putting a label on it. It's the energy of I know who my empress is now, right? I'm having the realization, but I have to overcome something major within myself, and it just feels like it just can't be easy to look at because again, the energy that it takes them to could be their part in how they acted. Almost like fighting with someone on purpose, like, you know what I mean? In the realization with the Chariot. Beautiful. Coming under the Ace of Pentacles. Card of Cancer. We have the Prince of Swords coming under the Three of Wands. And the Nine of Wands coming under the Six of Pentacles. Nine of Wands, when I see that, I always feel like whatever has happened is meant to happen. Like each and every little thing. Needed to happen to spark another thing. It just kind of feels like an energy that's meant to be. Ultimately, I feel like many of us go through these difficult situations because it brings us, those of us who seek, you know, to do better and to know what, you know, why I was this way or what have you. Ultimately, I feel like what does it do? It brings us to the energy of the Six of Pentacles, where I can truly receive from the universe you know, it's just a different type of energy. It teaches you compassion and empathy. And I feel like we always use that. We always feed that back into the universe. So, anyway, so I love that we have the Chariot under the Ace of Pentacles. Um, this can be quick moving, also. Quick moving. The person can come in, again, I feel like probably through communication. Almost like the Prince of Swords is feeding the energy in the Three of Wands, through some type of communication. And it may be old school. I don't know. I feel like for someone, I have to say that, like old school communication. So it could be a letter, like through the mail, instead of an email. But I feel like it comes in. And again, I feel like like if I read that letter, I may actually have empathy for this person. So I feel like, again, for some of you, they're almost like pouring it out, putting it on paper, or perhaps telling you to, however it gets to you. I feel like they are letting it out. And I feel like you're understanding. Hmm, interesting. Okay. Um, I think I'm going to leave it there. Because, what am I looking for? I'm looking for like a time period, so to speak. We do have a lot of movement here, but ultimately, I feel like this, it's like they have to figure this shit out. And I don't know why I keep using the word shit, because you guys know I usually don't swear in my readings, but I feel like I have to keep saying that. So they have to figure it out. Um, but ultimately, I feel like they do. We can't say like 100%. Because they have free will, right? There's free will. Two people have free will, and they're free to use it whenever. So, but ultimately, here is the energy. It lets us know, um, where we're at on both sides, what's going on, so to speak, and ultimately, I feel like temperance is like just, you know, let it be, let it be. Don't regret what you've been through because the potential of growth is just really tremendous, I feel like. And again, why? Because I feel like when this Ten of Cups comes, because we have it on both sides, I know it's coming, and we get the Ace of Pentacles attached to it. Temperance is like directing this energy. And it feels like the ultimate, like when I'm truly feel happy. Now, I know happiness comes from within, but I'm telling you, this is very harmonic type energy, very balanced type energy. I can really let myself go. There are no barriers. It's coming to that place. And I feel like you are on the track of understanding that and then going with that energy. Where over here there is some resistance to it, but that again they have to go within. Um, Almost like there's nothing we can do here for them. We can be empathetic. Um, we may be once they reach out, and we may be empathetic towards them. I definitely feel that because I definitely feel the energy of wanting this communication, wanting it. I definitely feel it, and I feel like it starts to really, throw some passion within you too. So I'm going to leave it there. I feel like we can't determine when. It's up to each to go through their individual journey, and when it's time. Um, so kind of like shake it off. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there. I didn't want this to be too long, so I don't want to fill it with just talk. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel, supporting this journey. Yeah, I just find it so interesting, and I'm learning a lot. You know, we all have our own opinions, and that's fine. But I feel like I'm learning a lot. Um, you know, so anyway, I thank you for watching the reading, sharing the reading, and thank you for your comments. I love your comments. You know, I just find them so interesting, and they really help fill in the blanks for me. And I know this is going to reach a lot of different people. You know, we're just on different, you know, why are we all here? Because we're all like minded, which means, you know, there can be a lot of similarities between our journeys, but different circumstances, right? So we can almost feed off each other and learn from each other. You can almost see your future self through someone else because you're here, but they were there, and now they're talking about how they got here, right? So it's almost like you can see your future self. So just trust that energy. Anyway, thank you guys. Um, let me know. Let me know what you think about the spread too. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.